published 1600 EDT, the 19th of August 2017, updated 1758 EDT, the 19th of August 2017. Billionaire tech mogul Paul G. Allen announced Friday that a research vessel belonging to his organization has located wreckage from the USS Indianapolis, Indiana, the Philippine Sea. The sinking of the Indianapolis by a Japanese submarine in 1945 remains the single biggest loss of life in U.S. naval history, and the discovery of the wreckage promises to shed new light on the wartime disaster. To be able to honor the brave men of the USS and their families through the discovery of a ship that played such a significant role during World War II is truly humbling, Allen said in a statement published to his website. As Americans, we all owe a debt of gratitude to the crew for their courage, persistence and sacrifice in the face of horrendous circumstances. While our search for the rest of the wreckage will continue, I hope everyone connected to this historic ship will feel some measure of closure at this discovery so long in coming. The statement added, of the 1,197 men aboard the Indianapolis, only 317 survived and only 32 are alive to this day. The ship was found using the RV Petrel, which was able to dive 6,000 meters in the Philippine waters to locate the ship. The vessel was sunk after completing a top-secret mission to deliver components of 2 nuclear weapons which would later be used on Japan on July 30, 1945. As the Second World War was coming to a close, the USS Indianapolis was destroyed by a Japanese submarine, sinking the ship in 12 minutes after it was struck with a torpedo. Commissioned November 15, 1932, class Portland-class cruiser, wartime complement, up to 1,269 awards, Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal with 10 battle stars, American Defense Service Medal, World War II victory, Medaf 8, sunk on July 30, 1945 by Japanese submarine. The ship had just completed a secret mission, delivering components of 2 nuclear weapons that would soon be used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. Of the 1,197 men aboard the Indianapolis, roughly 300 went down with the ship. The remaining 900 men went into the shark-infested water, with few lifeboats and almost no food or water. For 4 days, those who didn't have life jackets clung to those who did, as white-tip and tiger sharks circled the wreckage and picked off survivors. There soon were hundreds of fins around us, recalled Harold Eck, an 18-year-old seaman at the time. The first attack I saw was on a sailor who had drifted away from the group. I heard yelling and screaming and saw him thrashing. Then I just saw red, foamy water. Another survivor said they were upon us every 3 or 4 hours. Bugler First Class Donald Mack would never forget those screams and the realization there was one less man to be rescued. The feeding frenzy which ensued remains the worst shark attack on humans in recorded history. Only 317 men, a quarter of the ship's original complement, survived the horror ordeal. The USS Indianapolis was destroyed by a Japanese submarine on July 30, 1945. The USS Indianapolis was a 9,800-ton Portland-class heavy cruiser and earned 10 battle stars during World War II. Age 64, known for co-founder of Microsoft, owner Portland Trail Blazers and Seattle Seahawks, net worth $20.5 billion. Even in the worst defeats and disasters, there is valor and sacrifice that deserve to never be forgotten, said Sam Cox, director of the Naval History and Heritage Command. They can serve as inspiration to current and future sailors enduring situations of mortal peril. There are also lessons learned, and in the case of the Indianapolis, lessons relearned that need to be preserved and passed on, so the same mistakes can be prevented, and lives saved. Capt. William Toady Rhett, spokesperson for the survivors of the USS Indianapolis, said upon learning of the discovery that every soldier, to a man, have longed for the day when their ship would be found, solving their final mystery. They all know this is now a war memorial, and are grateful for the respect and dignity that Paul Allen and his team have paid to one of the most tangible manifestations of the pain and sacrifice of our World War II veterans. The ship was found with the RV Petrel, which Allen had recently purchased, retrofitting the 250-foot vessel with state-of-the-art technology capable of diving to 6,000 meters. Researchers with Allen's organization were able to locate the ship in part because of a naval landing craft that had recorded a sighting of the USS Indianapolis the night that it was torpedoed. Using the coordinates to get a location on the ship, the USS Indianapolis CA-35 was a 9,800-ton Portland-class heavy cruiser that operated in the Atlantic and Pacific, and earned 10 battle stars during World War II. The sinking of the USS Indianapolis remains the most tragic maritime disaster in U.S. naval history. An image shot from a remotely operated vehicle shows wreckage which appears to be one of the 2 anchor windlass mechanisms from the forecastle of the ship. Image shows a spare parts box from USS Indianapolis on the floor of the Pacific Ocean in more than 16,000 feet of water. The sinking USS Indianapolis remains to be the most tragic maritime disasters in U.S. naval history.